Alright fellas, I got something really cool to look at. It's always interesting to see what happens next. This is my Ventura pump video. A lot of you guys were kind of following along with that. It was October 12th when we installed this thing. And it has run every day since then. Sometimes from 6 in the morning till 1 o'clock in the morning. So, pretty long day there. It was morning both times. Usually I'd be done around midnight, but sometimes it would go on for an entire 24-hour day. And all I have to burn is serious, nasty, wet wood. Some really bad stuff. And I noticed today that she's just not running as well as she used to be. So I thought it was time for an inspection. And boy, is there a lot of crud in there. However, the entire circumference of the Ventura nozzle is still clear, which is kind of cool. I was wondering if the sludge would fall down into there and clog it up, but nope, that wasn't happening. And I think what we're going to be doing to this burner system, guys, is getting rid of this long exhaust pipe. It was a cool idea, but for this wet wood that I've got, and I've got truckloads of it, I don't think this is the good way to go. This stuff's just sappy, wet wood. Ain't had time to dry a lot of it yet. So I think what I'm going to do is simply put an elbow right here and vent the gas right out the building right there. Can't really see down there. Trying to get some secondary. Quite a bit of sludge there. So I got all that gunk cleaned out. Just gonna give it a little lick of fire there. The coals usually get the fire started. I used charcoal from the previous burn as kindling. I might not have gotten her lit all the way that time. But yeah, let's check this out. I also installed a grate finally. I've been running this thing without a grate for years. Well, you can't really see it, but definitely got some serious drawdown. So I think the idea of trying to salvage as much heat just came at too high of a cost. So from now on, we're going to be discharging like 300 to 400 degree exhaust gases. The suction on this thing at just 345 watts is insane. It's like sucking my hand onto there. I never had that much pull, and it's got to be due to the losses I was getting in that pipe. All those little peaks and valleys of that tar buildup were just causing so much turbulence. I was having to turn this thing up to 500 watts just to keep it burning. Alright fellas, here's the scoop. My channel has been blessed with a large volume of extremely intelligent, intellectual individuals in the comments. A lot of you guys are engineers, and I know that, and I really appreciate all your input. And I apologize if I ever come across as a dick for the way I say things sometimes. Sometimes I'm very animated about what I believe in, and I'm hard to convince, but I am not unconvincible. One of the things that I'm posting this section of the video for is to ask the engineering community about a subject that's come to my attention regarding engine cooling or electric motor cooling. The electric blower on this system is getting pretty cold, and I'm worried about it. You can see here the discharge temperature of the heat is about 60 degrees, and the intake side is around 50 degrees on the casing. Well, around 60 degrees maybe. I am worried that my ball bearings are not lubricating as well as they could at these temperatures. And I'm also wondering what the efficiency losses are in the bearings with those lower temperatures as well. And I just wondered if it's a concern that I shouldn't worry about. What do you guys think about this motor being overcooled? That's the subject here. I'm considering blocking off 50% of the cooling duct on this motor to kind of try and let it warm up a little bit, because it's about 25 degrees out right now. But we have seen temperatures in this area as low as 30 below zero. Now that's a lot of wind chill, but you know we're getting down into 10 below. So any of you guys who have had any experience with a motor getting too cold, you know, anybody who's worked out on an oil rig or on a boat, anything where extremes are the norm, tell me what you guys think. Do you think it'd be a wise protocol to start blocking off the cooling vents on some of these motors I'm putting outside? Some of the motors that I've used on the blowers to run this heating system didn't have a cooling fan at all. I intentionally left it off, and they never got above 90 degrees in the most frigid of conditions. We're talking blasting winds, 30 below zero wind chills. So I'm wondering if I need to do the same thing and remove some of the cooling of that motor. That motor can do up to 1,000 watts, and I never go over 500 watts on it. 500 watts into an electric motor isn't all that much when you consider a floodlight, a halogen floodlight with dual lamps is, you know, 1,000 watts. So just a thought. What do you guys think about me overcooling this motor? Yeah, I just usually give it a little quick hit. About 20 seconds of fire down in there with that charcoal is all I ever do. Let's check this new position out. See what this thing looks like. I don't know if you guys can see that. See that smoke wall right there? I'm getting so much draft right now that it won't even let smoke out of the unit like it used to. That's a huge amount of draft, guys. For that much hot air, the volume of that air changes. This thing sucks in a certain volume of air and it expands greatly. So there's kind of a depreciation of value there. But definitely very impressed with the amount of draft I'm getting now. I got a feeling this grate is really going to pay off as well. Kind of cool looking inside of fireboxes. You ought to see these things at the power plant. So, we're getting lit here pretty good. Give you a quick peek inside, and we'll take one more look outside. What's going on? Nothing yet. It's still very wet wood, and we are just left to deal with that. I'm kind of killing the fire opening this thing. So let's let that get going. All right, things looking nice and smokeless at this point. What we want to see. Wow, can I feel some heat cranking off of this dude? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Got a pretty decent fire. Look at that draft. It's pulling some flames in there. That's where all my smoke's getting burnt for the most part. At least I like to tell people that. I could be completely wrong and it only burns like 5% of it. I've done no actual determination other than the fact, you see we have no smoke outside. What's our discharge temp? This makes me a little worried here, but you know, it is what it is. I think keeping the temps up high in this section of the burner is really gonna help my buildup issues. This thing will get up to 300-400 degrees. We've just lit it up, and it does actually take quite a bit of time to heat this metal up. So I'm very pleased. The grate looks like it's doing wonderful. Got some air coming from underneath now. That was a big important change. Very important change to this design here. Wow, that grate bar is red hot. I'm definitely into that. It's so hot I can't stand right here, guys. I am literally burning alive just standing right here. And I love it.